Hi everybody and welcome back. This video is a little bit late out, but I wanted to finish something which I'm going to show you very shortly. Welcome to everybody that's joining me today, and welcome to all our new subscribers, and welcome to anybody that's just happened to jump on. If you like it, don't forget to like this video, leave a comment or subscribe. That would be wonderful. Anyway, going to jump right into why this video was late. I wanted to finish this little fella here. Now, with the Minions movie coming out, I found this pattern on Instagram. It's a free pattern. They call it the Villain Assistant, which we all know as Bob. Now, as I said, it's a free Instagram pattern and it's by Hooked by Andrew. Now, I made all of this out of Portercraft yarn, which is a cheaper yarn that we can get here in our, I guess you could call it our $2 stores. I'm not real sure what other people do, but he was a relatively simple make, although there is a little bit of sewing. So if you don't like sewing, well, you're not going to like it. But first of all, you make the body all in one. So it's all the yellow, with the exception of the arms. The arms are done separate, the eyes are done separate, and the feet here are done separate, and the straps are done separate. So you're doing your basic rounds for yellow and blue. Then you go back and you put the straps over the arms. You go back and do the strap around the head, as you can see. The eyes are done separately, although they all are done in one. So you do the white and then you attach the grey and you go around. You add a little mouth at the end. The arms are done separately as well. So, yep. And then the feet are just two bobbles, so to speak, and they're done last and sewed on as well. Now, as I said, it was a free Instagram pattern that I got off Instagram. It's by Hooked by Andrew. I used Portercraft yarn in yellow, blue, they just call them solid yellow, solid blue, black, solid grey and white. And I used, as I said, 14mm eyes for him there, and I used a 5mm hook. Portercraft, after using a lot of the other yarns, is not the best yarn to use. It does break easily, but the colours were just superb for this one. So I have made my villain assistant, as we all know him, as Bob from the Minions. So that was why I am late getting my video out. I wanted to finish this little guy, which I'm glad I did, because he turned out lovely. Now, moving along to some other makes that I managed to get done. I did the Southern Gals Crochet Sesame Chicken. Now, I have made variations to that. I do not use double strand. I don't put the wings on, so it's not as big. So he is possibly, when you look at my hand, just to give you an idea, I should have showed you how big Bob was in relation to my hand. So you can see that he's just a little bit bigger than my hand there, covering my face, just to get an idea. Put it next to my face. Let's see, probably about a quarter of a head to go. Don't have anything else here that I can show you a comparison of. So anyway, getting back to my chickens. Now, chickens are one of my best sellers, so I'm always making chickens. I just felt like making some this time, so I thought, well, I need the chickens, let's get in and make them. So I've made a black and white one. Now, this yarn was a mill-ends at our Spotlight, so I've got no idea what sort of yarn it is, but it's fantastic in the black and white, and they seem to love the black and white. And that's just some leftover yellow and red I've gone to do the beak. I use 12mm eyes in my chickens, and I use a 5mm hook. So chicken number one. in my trusty bucket beside me. Chicken number 2 is a bit of a makeup of all my leftover browns that I have. So I thought, instead of wasting them all, I've done a chicken that, I don't know what you'd call it, a higgledy-piggledy brown chicken maybe. I don't know, but all yarn that I had. And once again, most of that was mill ends. So again, I don't know what yarn it was. Then I've done this one in like a purpley, I guess it really is a purple, but it looks like a black purple. So that's chicken number 2. And last but not least, chicken number 4. Sorry, that was 3. This is 4. So this is just a brown and white. Now, I believe that these are all Burnett yarns. I'm not 100% sure, but they come in our mill ends, which is, for our overseas viewers, we can buy a packet of yarn, and you just don't know what you're getting, to be honest. And it could be a really great find, or it could be a really bad find. But in the end, let's see if I can do this. 4 chickens, done and dusted. So I will be making more chickens because, as I said, they are my bread and butter. They sell, I can't even begin to explain how they sell. Every time I've gone to a market, people just buy them. I'm sure it's going to end soon, but whatever they're buying them, I'll keep making them. And last but not least, I finished off a eggy chick. Now, I showed you in the last video this eggy chick with his little bobble feet, with his egg on the head. So, and that was made out of a value ball that we got from our Spotlight. So we know that's not going to be around forever. So that was another make that has been done. So all up in the past week, I got Bob, 4 chickens, and this finished. So that's 6 items, which isn't too bad considering I do it overnight time. So I was pretty happy with that. So all that is going into market prep. They're not for anybody in particular, so they'll all go into my market prep box. I should have also said that, as I said, the chickens are by Southern Girls Crochet, and the eggy chick was by Therapy on My Hook. The Sesame Chickens by Southern Girls Crochet is a paid pattern on Etsy, and the eggy chick was a free pattern on Instagram that I done. Now, another thing that I like to do, excuse me, itchy nose after that yarn. Another thing I like to do each month is keep a record of how many skeins of yarn that I do use. It's a bit hard with the mill ends because you can get 4 skeins in a bag, you can get 2. It just depends on the size of them. And to be honest, I never know when I'm finished one or not, because if you can just see over there, they just all sit in that bag and I just get them out as I need them. So to be honest, I don't know how long I've had some of them, and a lot of them don't have tags. So I would have used, well, to do the chicken that was a mixed match brown, I think I finished off about 5 leftover skeins that would be, I don't know, about that big. Can't really see with my fingers. That big. So they were all, yeah, about that big. They were all ends. They weren't any great amount, but I thought I'd let you know what I did in the month of June. So my first one was a value ball. It was the butter. It was, so that would have been a yellow, which I used on all the eggy chicks. So that would have been that one. And I've got one here, another one. Now that was a stripe, and it was a multi-grey. Now I believe I probably used that on chickens as well. Then I had a Portercraft one, and this one was a solid purple. I have no idea what I used that on. Then there was another Portercraft. That was a hot blue. Once again, I've got no idea what I made with that to have hot blue. Then I've got 4 of the Lion brand 24/7 cotton. Now, if you remember from a couple of videos ago, I made some bandanas as a custom order. Then I proceeded to make some more just to use up some of the yarn I had. I've still got more of this Lion brand 24/7 cotton, which I will get in to use, but at the moment these are the ones I finished. So this one here was a rose pink. I used a, can't even find the name on this one. Oh, that was the red. That was the green because it was called grass. And that one was called cacao, which was a brown. So that's some more yarn out of my stash. Now, as I said, I would have used up some millions, so I have no idea how many millions I used. So all up for June, I'm just putting them here. I used, oops, can't even turn them around. I used a total of 8 skeins. So that is actually down on some of the ones. Now, that's 100 grams, that's 100 grams, that's 100 grams. That's 100 grams. They're all 100 grams. There you go, of different thicknesses and sizes. So I managed to get 9 used up. No, sorry, 8 for June. That is not the best month I've ever had. I've had better months where I've used up skeins. But yeah, as I keep saying, the value balls are the ones where I've been using from millions. And of course, I don't know how many of those I use because there's never any tags on them because you don't know what you're getting in that particular yarn. I'm now on school holidays, so I've got the next 2 weeks at home to try and get a little bit of crochet done and hopefully use my time wisely. Of course, there's always something that needs to be done, and I'll probably end up doing something other than crochet, but I need to get in and get my orders done. I've still got a couple of those, and I've had a couple more come in, so I want to try and get in and make those. And I also would love to get in and make my granddaughter a unicorn for her birthday. That's in August, so that's coming up, where we'll be hopping on a plane and going and visiting her for a couple of days to celebrate her 5th birthday with unicorns and sparkles. I'm sure I'll be looking forward to that, and can't wait to see our precious little girl. So really looking forward to that. So as I said, I'm on school holidays. I'll try and get a little bit done, and hopefully I'll get a few more makes. And I don't know when my next video will be because it'll depend on how much I can get made and how much I can get in my basket that I sit beside the lounge. But here's hoping that I can get in and get some made. As I've previously said, I have no markets in the month of July. I am tempted, but I'm not going to do them. I really, truly don't need to go and do a market because I am trying to build up some stock, and there's just a lot I want to do. But you tell me, who doesn't have a list as long as their arm of what they want to do? I know we all go down that rabbit hole and have pattern after pattern after pattern that we want to get in and make, but we never seem to get around to making them. And oh, look, I'm starting to fall into the same trap as everyone else. I've got patterns I want to have a go at to try and improve my crochet skills. I would like to have a go at some different things, because as I've said previously, I make more than just plushies, so I would like to get in and make some other things as well. Desperately need some book sleeves, and I would love to get in and make those. And yeah, anyway, I'll get there. Now, a quick update on our fire here at our house before I disappear. Looks like we're going to have a rebuild and get a brand new shed. Yes, it's good. No, it's not good, in the fact that it's just that you've lost so much. We've lost so much, but I guess that's what it is. Anyway, it's going to be a rebuild. We're going to get a new shed, and then we can get back in there, and hopefully my husband will get back into his horseshoe art. Little bit dubious at the moment on wanting to do it, because it has been ascertained that the fire started in the welder, not through any fault of our own. It seems that it was a faulty welder, and he's just gun shy, for the use of a better word, to use a welder again. But hopefully he will get back out there. He will get some horseshoes up and running again, and yeah, we just hope it just keeps proceeding as it is. Anyway, enough of all that. I hope everybody has a great weekend and a fantastic week next week. Please stay safe, everyone, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next video. And don't forget to hit that subscribe button, leave a comment. I welcome anybody, even if you just want to say, "Hi, Karen." I'm happy with that. Anyway, I will talk to you all next time. Bye.